Hey there! Today we're going to be talking about a pen by a brand of which I have not reviewed any pens recently, I suppose. No, I think the last one was that Slim Targa that was a little bit of a mystery to many experts. We're having a look at Sheaffer. Sheaffer launched this pen. This is the Sheaffer Sagaris. It's a very fascinating pen, I found. And let's have a look at the box first. It's the standard Sheaffer box. I've already spilled ink on there. It's disgusting and terrible. There's the use and care guide, and there is a cartridge. Now, if you've used Sheaffer pens before, then you know that a lot of them use these proprietary cartridges, which look a bit odd. They're very flat on both ends, and I believe that end. Okay, you see, there you go. So I would say that this end is the end that goes to the pen, but it's not. It's that end that has a little ball agitator. Yeah, that's really cool. Now, the Sagaris is a pen, fairly new, and it's based on some older models that Sheaffer had. And I think it was the Triumph, but I have a snorkel that really looks a lot like this. The clip is a little bit smaller on the snorkel, I believe, but it even has the same color. So, except the snorkel is made of a plastic, and this is actually an all metal pen. So, I'm going to look at the parts of the pen, tell what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Let's start with the very top of the cap. There we go. Nice and reflective, as you can see. Then we have the clip. The clip, of course, has the Sheaffer white dot right there. It's also very nice and reflective. Same goes for the cap. And you have the center band. And the center band, as you can see, says Sheaffer on 2 bits. And you have the barrel, nicely tapered, and that ends again in a nice reflective bit. The cap slides off. It can be posted, and then you get a very decently sized pen, I would say. I can even use it unposted. Because it's metal, it definitely has a bit of weight to it. Now we have the section. Black plastic, looks like it's injection molded. I would say it's just plastic. And then we have the nib, as you can see, medium. It says Sheaffer. It has those nice sort of sunray things on there. And then we have a nice little step down there, which is fairly gradual, I would say. It just slides down. There you have the section. Now the section is made of plastic. Plastic can be a bit slippery. I did not really find this slippery. I do think it gives a good grip. It's a bit tapered, then it flares out a bit. I find it fairly pleasant to hold, actually. The pen came with a converter, Sheaffer converter. Again, of course, it's the same thing as with the cartridge, completely flat end, 1 bit. Quite nice. Holds a decent amount of ink. It's just a converter, pretty much. So, there we have the pen. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, it looks classic. And to me, that is both a plus and a minus, so to speak. It looks classic, and that gives it, I immediately thought snorkel when I saw this, which is pretty much the same shape. I'd probably have to do a shootout between those 2 pens at some point. But it's also something that I've seen before. I cannot say I find this the most spectacular pen design in the history of ever, so to speak. But it works. It's pleasant to hold, pleasant to use. So in that regard, I would say it's a nice pen. I was very pleasantly surprised by the performance of the nib. It's a steel nib. It's a medium nib, but it is nice and smooth. Flows very well. I've had absolutely no issues with flow, no startup issues, no skipping, nothing. It just flows very, very well. And that's something I think is a big plus, because a lot of pens I've used recently, even from big names in the pen world, big brands, had flow issues, and this pen just performs fantastic straight out of the box without any tinkering or adjustments. That's quite cool. So I think we have to take a couple of measurements, and then I'm going to do a writing sample. So first of all, we have the total length of the pen capped. I come to 133 millimeters. When we have the pen uncapped, I come to, what do I get? 119 millimeters. Then we have the diameter of the section. The narrowest point, I would say 8 millimeters. At the widest point, it's just over 9 millimeters. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to weigh it. I'm assuming it has a little bit of weight to it, considering it's all metal. I get about a good 30 grams. So that's indeed not a very light pen. And that's all there's to it. So I think we're going to move on to the writing aspect of the review. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, here we go. Whoops, I just dropped the pen. How about that? But it's alright. It just slipped from my hands. Let's have a look at the Sheaffer Sagaris. Sagaris. Bloody hell. The nib is medium and the ink is the fantastic Sailor Sky, what's it called? Sky High? Or Sky Blue? Something like that. It's a wonderful ink. The paper is rhodia. Here we go. The pen writes nicely, smoothly, good flow, excellent flow, no skips, nothing, even on this fairly smooth rhodia paper. I think that's very, very nice, very pleasant to use, and just generally awesome, to be honest. I've seen a lot of pens recently that skipped quite a bit, but this one is perfect. Let's do some fast writing. Game of Thrones, anyone? For some reason, the name Sagaris, I can't write it, what's the point? Sagaris just reminds me a little bit of Game of Thrones. I don't know why, it just does. Let's check out the wetness of the pen. Ooh, yeah. Nice even patch of ink, nice and wet. Not super wet, just good, just the way I like it. Bit of line variation. Well, it is a steel nib. It's fairly hard, but you can squeeze out just a little bit and look at the nice shading of that ink. Very, very cool. I'm turning it around now. As you can see, the nib can definitely handle reverse writing. It's drier, it will skip a bit more, but it's also finer. So for those of you who like that sort of stuff, I know there's quite a couple of you out there, you can turn this one around and write with it. And you know what, that's all there's to it. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.